This is the sixth chapter of The Promise of Ruins, and it's called General Morphology of Urbanism, based on a book title by the German zoologist Ernst Haeckel. Haeckel was known as a bit of a speculator among his peers because he was attempting to use the same laws to explain that which was organic and that which was inorganic. So we were thinking about this idea of how to account for interrelation. And the artists in this chapter do exactly that. They are challenging ideas which are, at the end of the day, conceptual ruins from the Enlightenment. They're challenging ideas like virgin nature or the perfect and clinical separation between nature and man. Hello, Are We in the Show is a 2021 short animated film by Belgian duo Simona Denicolai and Ivo Provoost. It features several scenes of the Belgian Sonian forest and its very diverse inhabitants. And this is a very interesting space because its historical transformations serve as a kind of empirical record of the Western world relationship with its environment and the Western world's conception of what nature is. This is a space that was an exclusive hunting ground for the court of Maximilian I. But later on, it was also one of the main sources of oak woods for Napoleon's naval fleet. And later on, parts of it were converted to a site of leisure, so a park for city dwellers. And these are transformations that have also been art historically indexed. So we can think of, for example, the hunts of Maximilian tapestries in the 16th century. Auguste Rodin also painted the forest, and now in the 21st century, Denicolai and Provoost realized his portrait. Beyond the whimsical and joyful animation style, it is through the sounds in the video that we can really perceive how in vain it is to separate starkly humans from nature or humans from their environment. So when we hear the sounds of an airplane, of a distant roads and cars and wild animals, but also domesticated animals, and all these sonic stimuli actually are constructing the very same space sonically. Denicolai and Provoost's exploration of these divisions or lack thereof between nature and culture happens not only through the work but also through its exhibition history. We initially intended to display the work in the front of the space, in the exhibition area of the balcony, but when Ivo and Simona visited the space, they were more interested in showing it in the back, because this is the third time that the work has been presented. And the first time was in the perfectly controlled environment of the museum at smae in Belgium. The second time was at the uncontrolled environment of the forest. And so this time is the semi-controlled environment of the artist studio. It considers the artist studio as a social space, which is at the end of the day constructed in ways that are comparable to a forest, because we eat here, we rest here, we are creative in this space.
My name is Charlton. I'm a Swiss-British photographer, designer, and artist based in The Hague. In my artistic practice, I question the increasingly absurd world we've been building for ourselves. Something quite important for me is to explore this the relationship between reality and fiction, and the role it plays in our lives. The work in the balcony, called Welcome in Netherlands, is a semi-fictional, satirical documentary about the Dutch neoliberal utopia. And originally I've been working on this series for now 2 years. I had this book I made where I've been collecting Dutch news that seem unreal but are real. And I have this huge collection of Dutch news headlines that are completely absurd. And I had this LED panel, and the idea was maybe to have like this thing that goes non-stop, like even like with the stock market. Most Dutch cities, they have at the entrance of villages, they have like these panels with like these red and white stripes and this yellow big frame. And so the idea was to make kind of this welcome panel to get in the show, where all these news are like, instead of the name of the city, all the news are like going non-stop. But I also wanted a way to like make the exhibition a bit playful and how to make it interactive. Something I think in the Netherlands, and how I wanted to show the work, was also to talk about how tall Dutch people are. And so I had this idea of like hang all the pictures a bit too high, or like way too high. And then there was this, how to find a way for people to actually like get to the right height to get to them. I spent a lot of time collecting archive images from the Dutch National Archives. So like I made a selection in the archive pictures I saved of interesting, absurd, eye-catching moments from Dutch history. So I was thinking how to make use of them in a interesting way, and the idea was to give us the ability to build this kind of common history, and where people can we can all like lay on the wall like posters these different moments of Dutch history and tear them apart or not, and reveal different layers, and this repetition. But then, because we're also in the Netherlands and we're in this neoliberal utopia, I think I could not just like let people get the posters like that. I think they also had to be on sale, because something that comes back a lot in the project is that everything is a commodity and everything is for sale. And so the idea came also then to make this poster dispenser where people can buy, actually have to buy the experience. To make a link between the inside of the show and the outside, we put this huge sticker of one of the pictures I made of these horses eating grass, and so from the outside you get like a window view, like watching from the inside of a house to the very artificial countryside, and then from the outside you also have this inverted view of the nature, but with the city just behind that is layered. Yeah, cool. What's this moment so you can cut out?